Okay, so step number one is client attraction. I think we all know what that is. I alluded to that earlier. That's the process of bringing new people into your sales process, into your system, into your store, into your website, whatever that happens to be. Number two, I call rapport building. If you are going to sell something to someone, that old adage, people buy things from people that they know and that they like and that they trust. They do business with people that they know and they like and they trust. In this activity of rapport building, and obviously if you're thinking about two people in a face-to-face selling situation, it's easy to see that. But video marketing, by the way, is an extremely effective tool in building rapport online. Step number three is gathering information. This is pain. Unless I really understand what the pain is, where the problems are for a client, I can't fix them. So I want to, after I build that rapport, I want to start to gather information that will help me then move on to step number four. And in that, I start to educate them in terms of the features and the benefits and the ways in which my product or service can help to eliminate that pain. As a subset of this, and again, this is definitely one of those things that may or may not be in your specific sales process, the next step, number five, is presentations and demos. Now, in some cases, you can't do that. But in others you can. Sometimes that's difficult for me, but I think if you happen to be, as Rick is, if he's selling marketing support materials, he can show demonstration reels. Step number six is nurturing. And the way I explain that, I don't know about you, but when I'm selling and I'm working with a prospect, when I give them the price, I often hear a response that goes like this: well, let me think about it. Well, in that time that they're thinking about it, until they're ready to move forward, what happens? The sales process doesn't stop. So there needs to be some ongoing communication and marketing during that time. Otherwise, you really do lose them. Step number seven in my list here are handling objections. I think the first thing that anybody learns in a sales course is that that's an activity that you must deal with. And indeed, that's part of the sales process sample that I've provided here with for you today. The next one is I call handling the competition. This is number 8. And handling the competition is basically looking at the competition, not beating them up, but showing how you are better. Charts, graphs, and demonstrations are a wonderful way of doing this. And then in every sales process, the sales process is not complete until you say, oh, by the way, this is what it's going to cost you. This is what the price is. So that is definitely a part of the sales process. Now, number 10 is I call closing the sale. And you would say, okay, that's great. I understand that part of it. In my world, I don't look at closing the sale as the end of the sales process. I see it actually as the beginning of what I call a lifetime relationship, lifetime value that I will derive from this relationship with this particular individual. So after that, after the sale is made, I have another step in the sales process that I call delivery. It is the fulfillment that is well, if you're delivering materials or service, whatever it is, getting this, whatever they have purchased from you to them. There's step number 12 I call follow-up after the sale. Whether that occurs the next day, whether it occurs in an email, however that is, that's a part of the sales process. Then we get to my favorite part. This is the post-sale. This is where, again, I'm talking about that lifetime value. You know, that old adage, it's not an old adage, it's the truth. It's easier to sell something new to an existing client than it is to attract a new one. In this time of the post-sale, you are dealing with the concept of upsell, of cross-sell, of generating referrals, and that's essentially what what my sales process is here. Now, I will point out one very other important factor, and probably the most important concept in today's mini course. Things in a sales process don't always go smoothly. There are what are called points of constraint. Now, I didn't create that terminology. That actually came to me from a process engineer by the name of Dr. Eli Goldratt. Back in 1984, he wrote a book called The Goal, and essentially his hypothesis, what he has ascertained as a result of working with one or more different types of processes, is that in every process there are 2 or 3 constraint points where things bog down and just fall apart. And he says if you can eliminate the 1 or 2 or 3 that are the most difficult, the others take care of themselves.